I count and number the shapes. I see that I have a whopping 118 shapes in this composition. So how in the world am I going to edit down the 118 shapes that I have here down to a composition of 15 shapes or less? Well, I'm going to use the device called massing. Massing is linking or connecting two or more adjacent shapes together to create a new shape, and a mass shape will always be an abstract, non-representational shape. Shapes can be massed together in any number of creative ways. One way is with value. At this particular time, I'm going to consider the tree as detail, and I'm going to ignore that in terms of the composition that I'm putting together. So that's just out of there, and we're talking about the value of the window, the value of the clothing and hair. I'm going to mass them together into one large dark shape. His shirt is light, so I'm going to leave that into the light shape. Her face is light, so I'm going to not mass that into my dark shape. Key to the idea of massing is being able to ignore the individual boundaries of objects, to be able to go past those boundaries and create a large abstract shape. So that's one. I've taken a number of objects that are close or similar in values and created one large dark shape. I could do the same with this window. This window and that gal's hair are very close in value, so I'm going to mass them. I could consider this sign and this little reflected light a detail, but it's very important for me in my composition and my painting, so I'm just going to put them in. Again, I'm ignoring the tree and the leaves. That's just detail at this point. Before detail, I need to find the large shape. I think of detail as like icing on the cake. And before you ice the cake, you have to have the cake itself. And the cake is the composition. Here I have another shape and shape that are dark and middle value, and I'm going to mass them together to create one large shape. That chair is also dark, so I can connect that chair into that shape and make the shape more interesting as well. The key is ignoring the individual boundaries of the objects and looking for creative ways to tie the shapes together. And I'm doing it right now by looking at objects that are the same or similar in value. Now that pot is also dark, so I can connect. So I have one large shape so far. Oh, actually, I can add the shadow shape under the chair. That's dark, as is part of her clothing, so that can be part of that masked shape. Her pants are dark, and the bike is dark, and this bench is dark, and so I could mask them all together into one large dark shape. Part of the bike is light, but behind the bike are dark shapes that I can mask